Hello everyone, this is Charlie and I am back with another video. Today I am going to review just one book, which is The Brave and the Bold Batman and Wonder Woman by Liam Sharp, 6-issue miniseries. But before we get to that, well, I want to say thank you to those who've left kind comments, about my health issue, which is nothing to worry about. But anyways, thank you for the kind words. Second of all, yesterday was New Comic Book Day for me, which is very rare, as I usually get my comics either on Thursday or Friday, because either the books arrive a little bit late or the shop has everything put out by late afternoon, early evening, so you don't usually go when it's all dark. But yesterday was nice that they got all the books out early. So I won't be reviewing these books like I said. I will be only reviewing one book. The review of the new books will come Saturday afternoon when I do the video for these books, which book did I get? The Terrifics #1, Mera Queen of Atlantis #1, and Saga #49. So look for the review of these three books on Saturday. So on to the review. So I'm going to try to make a very quick video because it's only one book. I'm not going to dwell too much. So yeah, so it's 6-issue miniseries by Liam Sharp. So in a few words, I could say it's nice art, very wordy, a lot of exposition, which I don't really mind because it's a #1 issue, so things have to be laid out, especially now that we're dealing with something outside the typical environment that we probably get from that book series in Gotham or Metropolis or any of that. So there's a lot of things that need to be explained, of course, but the fact that some of the stuff that's being presented in the narration, which is done by a non-named character at this point, and repeated by this character later in the issue, seems like kind of redundant. So sometimes you gotta find a way to sort of economize the narration so that you don't have to repeat what was being narrated in the dialogue, because he shows up and has to explain to Wonder Woman what's going on, and part of that somewhat has been explained already in the narration. As for the story, written in the issue, it's just a lot of setup as it starts to bring in the players of the story, but of the overall story. But I think it kind of lacked a little bit of tension, a little bit of mystery, if you will. It's a murder mystery, right? They have to solve a murder, which is a murder of a king in this land where the Celtic gods now live. He's been murdered, but we don't find out until the end, and it's supposed to be somewhat shocking. As a setup for the murder part, it's not there. It'd be nice if we kind of got a little bit more sense that we're actually shown how it went down. We don't have to find out who did it, but sort of do some foreshadowing, something that sort of connects that part of the story with the main part, I guess, of what we get in the issue. Then we're introduced him. We're introduced to a homeless man who lives in the Irish quarter of Gotham, who seems to be manipulated by our mysterious unnamed narrator to do certain things. Then we got the stuff that's happening in Gotham that Batman goes and investigates. And that pretty much is how the whole issue is set up. So there's no real conflict, there's no tension. You just, these are the characters, this is what's going on. And then you have to wait for the next issue to see how everything, comes together, and how the whole murder thing investigation really starts. So it's basically set up. It's nice art, but like I said, you might need a little extra some stuff. Just these images are stunning. This is just fantastic art. The pacing of it is nicely done. The situation that Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor fight themselves in, I don't know if it's absolutely necessary to have that sort of thing. I don't know if it adds anything to the plot. It's a very intimate moment between Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor, but I'm not sure if it would make any difference if they were doing something else. Really, it's nice to have the sort of romantic moment, but it seems so a Wonder Woman thing, I guess. Just a lot of pages of them doing their having their little moments there. But I guess it kind of showed a bit of how the relationship is like, I guess. Him being a Black Ops guy, she being a superhero, and not really having moments of peace because there's always something happening. So I don't know if it was not what was necessary, but it does give us some insight on the characters. So I'm curious enough to see where this is going, which is another thing. It doesn't really have a lot of hooks. There's kind of few at the end, what's going on in Gotham, in Gotham, and how what Batman's experiencing has to do with, again, the murder mystery that's happening. How apparently it seems both worlds are sort of merging or seeping into each other, or so it does have enough there for me to pick up the next issue. So that is it. So if you're new, please subscribe, like the video, comment. I usually try to answer people's comments. I'm not like a lot of. I actually try to answer a lot of people's comments, unless they're like nasty. I don't like. I like constructive criticism. So if you like the story, if you didn't like the issue, please let me know. So I am rambling on because it's getting kind of hot here. So I will end as I've always done. Until next time, keep smiling.